All right, some interesting numbers, and also that class that Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the master class of Mahendra Singh Dhoni to Suresh Raina of playing the short ball. But 187 ODIs, 188 ODIs, almost 10 years in international cricket. He shouldn't need this now.
No, not at all. I guess, when you're going through this bad run of form, you need to try and get out as quickly as possible, and you try
but with Raina, we've seen that whenever he comes up against the short ball, there's a question mark. He isn't reliable. You wouldn't bet your life at number 4 Suresh Raina will get you runs.
In overseas conditions, you would say yes. It'll be a little difficult for him because of the kind of technique that he's got. But in subcontinent, yes, because there's lack of bounce, you can go after him. But you're absolutely right. I just personally feel his problem that I see is he's in two minds. He's looking to duck the ball and also play that shot. You'll never be successful. Either you leave it or either you play with it with your full heart and conviction. I can play the short ball. If you're in two minds of that, you're not going to get too far.
Well, he's certainly not getting too far. If you take a look at the last 12 months, he only has 150, that too against Zimbabwe, Nikhil. It's time he was dropped. You just wonder why he's been given such a long rope.
Well, because he's played 170 odd games, people think that, he's been able to win you games. That's why the extended long run of rope. But when you have somebody like an Ambati Raidu who's got an international 100, the World Cup's around the corner, you'd be looking to try and give the opportunities to the youngsters. God forbid, if you need a plan B, your plan B's got to be ready. For that matter, Yuvraj Singh sitting at home.
No, fair point. It's great that you bring up Yuvraj Singh, because when Yuvraj Singh was in good form, he was moved from number 4 to number 5 because Mahendra Singh Dhoni wanted a plan B. But when Suresh Raina is performing, there's no plan B. We wonder why. Well, on that note, it's time for a breather, but there's so much more to talk about, especially India's failing openers, how they're hurting India and why it's imperative that they deliver in that 4th ODI in Hamilton. That's what we'll be talking about after. All right, both seem to have shots in the book, and Nikhil, that's the problem, that Rohit Sharma especially, he plays the short ball so well, probably one of the best in the Indian team, yet he's struggling.
Well, those 30s, those starts that we just spoke about in that package, if you're not converting those at the start of the innings, you're going to find it very difficult to go out there and win games. It's pretty simple math. If you break down the batting order, the top 5, you leave aside Virat Kohli in the last 12 months, fantastic. The rest of the 4 guys batting number 5, I don't think any of them has done exceptionally well in the last 10, 12 games. So where are you going to win the game?
True. In fact, we were looking at numbers, and the numbers said that more or less till 30 overs, India and New Zealand are going at the same rate, at the same run rate, they're getting the same amount of runs. But India are losing 4.33 wickets to New Zealand, who are losing just 1.33. And that sums it all, because towards the last 20 overs, you have nothing to take home.
And at the worst times, when you're looking to shift gears like any other side, when you've got wickets in hand, when you're shifting gears, the momentum starts coming. But you start losing wickets, the opposition starts creeping back into the game. Now, if you're chasing, at 6.5 and over, you bat for 40 odd deliveries, you get 20, asking on it gets about 7.5, you get out, new man walks in. Every single dot ball to that,
that's a fair point.
It's trouble for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is why the batsman who gets set must deliver. That's the mantra. That's the main mantra for success in ODI cricket. That's something India have done very well over the last year, but it's something that they're stumbling with right now. Let's hope that in the 4th ODI that gets sorted. Rohit Sharma, Shikhar Dhawan once again deliver like they did in that series against home in Australia. On that note, we'll have to say bye-bye to Nikhil. Thanks a lot for tuning in, viewers, and thanks a lot to my production team as well for putting together the show.